Nitrous Oxide, N2O. You know the blue bar on the side of your speedometer in Need for Speed Underground 2 that just magically seemed to refill itself all the time? The precious bottles that helped Brian O'Connor get his Eclipse over 140 miles an hour. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. In today's episode of the Build Sheet, we are talking about NOS. NOS. About to get nostalgic up in here. Roll. The idea of nitrous oxide injection has some of its roots stored in the history of the Luftwaffe during World War II. What is known as the GM1 was a nitrous injection system designed by the German engineer Otto Lutz. The GM1 was developed in 1940 with the intention of improving high-altitude performance for German fighters like the Focke-Wulf TA-152 and the Bf-109. Flying and fighting at higher altitudes proved to be a challenge since the higher altitude meant less dense air. And as we know, engines like air, and when there isn't enough air, they aren't as happy. The introduction of the GM1 helped considerably. Eventually implemented into other reconnaissance aircraft and bombers, they found out that instead of keeping it liquefied under high pressure wasn't really the best option. Instead, they discovered that keeping it at lower temperatures and at a lower pressure, it performed a lot better. Plus, if it ended up getting shot during combat, it wasn't as dangerous since it was under less pressure as well. Even though the GM1 was later replaced by the WWII system, which was just a water meth injection system, and the introduction of jet engines came around soon after, it wasn't necessarily the end of the road for nitrous. It wouldn't be until March 5th, 1961, on a rainy morning in Spokane, Washington, that the first ever drag car would rip down the drag strip equipped with a nitrous setup. That run made history, breaking the Famosa Raceway speed record with an 8.5 second pass at 185.58 miles per hour. That 88-inch wheelbase dragster, which is right around the size of a Honda CRX, was known as the Thrifty Auto Dragster and was driven by a man named Don Stortowen. And the secret recipe to its record pass was kept in 2 bottles mounted right above the driver's legs that contained what was only known at the time as an anesthetic. That secret was kept by various racing teams up until around the 1970s when the use of nitrous finally hit the limelight. Before you knew it, everybody and their grandma was running nitrous on their drag cars. The use of nitrous became absolutely huge in the drag racing scene due to it being such an efficient, cost-effective way to produce a ton of horsepower. As the years passed, we eventually saw nitrous injection kits becoming available to the public as an aftermarket application to their cars. So, that's cool, right? It's been around for a few years. It makes stuff go faster. It's a great conversation topic when you open the trunk and see the bottle sitting in the back. But what exactly is it? Why does it do what it does? Does it really shoot pretty blue flames out the back of your car? Does it really make it go that much faster? Well, let's get into the scientific part of it, shall we? So, let's go back to the basics for a second. As we discussed in the E85 video, which if you haven't seen, go check that out after this. Internal combustion engines run on 3 things. They run on oxygen, they run on fuel, and they run on an ignition source. Those 3 things are what powers an engine. Air comes in through the intake, it gets mixed with fuel, the piston comes up and compresses everything, it gets really tight, and then you have the spark plug which applies your ignition, and bang, there's your power. However, normal air that is brought in through your intake isn't very oxygen dense at all. With 78% of that air being nitrogen, that leaves only 20.95% being actual oxygen, with the remaining being argon and carbon dioxide. That's some pretty weak specs, bro. N2O, as the nomenclature would state, contains 2 atoms of nitrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. When activated, the liquid nitrous, which is stored under pressure, is injected between the throttle body and the intake manifold of the engine. And depending if you're running a dry or wet nitrous system, we sometimes see additional fueling being added there as well. By doing this, nitrous is then fed into the combustion chamber, where when heated to around 570 degrees Fahrenheit, will break down the chemical compound of the nitrous, basically causing the nitrous atoms to go and then oxygen atoms to go, and in turn providing more oxygen into the combustion chamber. With more oxygen present, in turn requires more fuel to keep your air-fuel ratio, and boom, there you have it, guy. More power for you, bud. So the question comes to be, if the main objective is to get more oxygen into the engine, then why even bother with the nitrogen? To make a long story short, nitrous oxide is a lot easier to handle because of the fact nitrous can be liquefied a hell of a lot easier than oxygen can. There's a reason why oxygen is packaged in gas form and not a liquid form. When nitrous is stored in a car, it's stored in a pressurized bottle, which keeps it in liquid form. When it's eventually introduced into the engine, it changes to a very cold gas since it is no longer under pressure. So now we got a little bit of history, we got a little bit of science. And now you're thinking, hey, that sounds pretty neat. I might want to do that. Are there any downsides? What would I need to do to run nitrous on my car? Glad you asked. Today you can pick up nitrous kits for right around $1,000 starting off. These kits practically come with everything you need to hook up the kit to your car. Now, like most things, it isn't just going to be a plug and play setup. You're actually going to have to adjust ignition timing. You're probably going to have to upgrade some fuel components and a few other things to ensure that you just don't blow your engine sky high. Some of those things might consider upgrading your internals, so with stronger connecting rods and stronger pistons and all that kind of stuff, so you can handle the extra horsepower that's being thrown into your engine so you don't send something flying into the atmosphere. With nitrous injection being so adjustable and the fact that just by adding more into your engine can increase horsepower tremendously, this is where we see nitrous being somewhat harmful to your engine. And what I mean by that is at the mercy of you to decide how much go-go juice you're going to dump into your engine. And it is very easy to add more and more horsepower with the addition of nitrous that it can be a little out of hand pretty quick. It's all about moderation, you know, it's everything. It's about moderation in video gaming, it's about moderation for food, and it's about moderation for your nitrous. If you have engine components that are rated for 500 horsepower, it would probably be in your best interest to not try to add a 200 extra horsepower shot of nitrous into your engine. Think of it similar to forced induction in a way. You wouldn't just randomly add an extra 10 PSI of boost with the hopes that, it'll be fine, it'll be good. I mean, let's just do it. Everything will be all right, nothing's gonna happen. Nitrous systems are a great, generally inexpensive way to get a bunch of horsepower out of your car. And today they are primarily used for drag racing setups. So if you're all about that quarter-mile life, a nitrous kit may be an interest to you, as that is gonna be where they really shine the most, because it's one of those things where once you hit it, you're gonna use it. You're gonna be going in a straight line. You're not gonna be wanting to add a bunch of extra horsepower going around a corner. So if you're looking at doing some drag racing, you want a little bit extra horsepower for not too much, a nitrous kit is probably gonna be the best setup for you and not gonna break the bank. Just one thing to remember, that it is a consumable product, so you're gonna have to refill the tanks every now and then. So we hope you guys enjoyed this video. We know it's a little out of our normal realm of wheels, tires, and suspension, and don't get us wrong, that's still us, that's our thing. But we're car enthusiasts, and we like to talk about different car things. So don't forget, fitmentindustries.com for all of those wheels, tires, and suspension needs. And just your warning again, that we are getting close and we're getting into the last few weeks for the ESR wheel giveaway. Easiest way to enter is to pick up this shirt right here. This one with the Subaru, the cool things. Fitmentindustries.com will make sure to put it down in the description below. Easiest way to enter to win a free set of wheels. We're gonna do a live feed giveaway at the end of the month to choose the winner, but that's gonna wrap it up for today. We'll see you guys later. I'm Gels from Fitment Industries. Peace.